It's the Wolf Media Festival podcast. Today's guests: director and writer of Helium, Zack Abdulbaki. And now, here's your hosts, Richard Wilmore and Jacqueline Wolfhart.
Welcome, everyone, to the Wolf Media Fest podcast. Our guest today is a rising star in comedy filmmaking, and his latest short is a total gas, literally. Zack Abdulbaki is the director of Helium, the award-winning comedy that took home Wolf Media Fest awards for Best Short, Best Male and Female Lead Performances, and Best Director. And trust me, it's as hilarious as it is relatable. The film follows a young man who accidentally inhales helium before a high-stakes dinner date and has to survive the night without speaking. What unfolds is a masterclass in awkwardness, chaos, and emotional sincerity. Think Judd Apatow meets Adam McKay with a squeaky twist. So please say hello to Zack. Hi, Zack.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. And I really appreciate you guys showing my movie at the fest. It's really a big honor.
Well, thanks for making it.
And this was actually something that was very funny to me. Sometimes we just have comedies that are just like, oh, that's kind of funny. This one, actually, I was like, I could be that guy. I could be that guy.
I was just going to say, normally I don't even get to see the films, but I got to watch this one and I was laughing and I thought it was hilarious. So good job.
Thank you. That's why we made it. We literally just wanted to make something quick and fun and make people laugh. So the fact that we really weren't expecting to win any awards in any festivals. So the fact that this happened, I was like, wow, the whole team really appreciated that.
Okay, now I have a question based on what you just said about not expecting to win awards. How many have you submitted to? And I mean, I assume that when you go to submit, you're like, I want to win. Like, you're not submitting just for funsies, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we submitted to like 35 and we've screened at a few film clubs and now we got into a few festivals. But I mean, I guess my goal was always like for the people who worked on the movie, I want them to know that people are watching the movie and we're screening it and people are laughing in the audience to the jokes. But I mean, I usually don't get my hopes up with things like awards. So, because, comedies usually don't win a lot of awards. But with this, I was like, that was really amazing for like the two lead actors as well. Like they were both very happy.
I love it. Well, and it's also more than just like slapstick comedy. Like there's awkwardness to it and like there's some cringy stuff where you're like, oh no, like you have all the feels with this film, which I think is probably one of the reasons why it does suit better than other comedies, because it's not just like jokes.
Thank you. Yeah, we definitely tried to make it relatable. I feel like everyone's always nervous before they go on a date, and or at least like a first date or an early date. And in this case, we're like, what is the worst thing that could happen right before, like 5 minutes before a date? And then that's kind of where the whole idea came from.
So not based on a true story.
No, but I think like every time you inhale a helium balloon, like I guess like my mom would be like, no, don't do that. Your voice might get stuck. And I'm like, can that happen? I don't think that can happen. But we're like, well, what if it did?
How did you get involved with the film?
So I wrote this in my film school in a class taught by Jill Condon, who's one of the writers of Friends. She wrote co-wrote the episode where they're fighting over the girl's apartment. Like they're doing that little contest to like, and they're like, what's Chandler's job? And he's like, and they're like, transponster, so she wrote like one of the best episodes. And I wrote this in her class. And then basically there was a contest in Dubai. I'm originally from Dubai, so I was living there at the time. And my friend found this contest that the Paramount Studios Hotel does every year, where basically they give you free equipment and basically give you access to the hotel and say you can film your short film anywhere in this hotel. You just have to do it within 24 hours. So my friend, who's an actor, his name's Atif, he's the lead of the movie. He was like, let's do a short in this hotel. And I was like, well, I don't really have a script for that. And he said, just take one of your scripts and kind of change it a little to make it in this hotel. And I said, okay. Well, I found a Helium one, and I was like, well, we could just, it's supposed to be in an apartment, but we just turned it into the whole hotel suite. And then the restaurant, okay, we'll just find a restaurant in the hotel. So we did this in 24 hours, filming it. And then we had 1 week to do all the post-production. And that's the reason we did the movie. I would not have done it if not for Atif. And I'm not an actor. I don't like acting, but we needed someone to be the friend. And I was like, I'll just do it. I already have it memorized. So
That's so funny. Because in the restaurant scene, when I saw the waitress's name tag, I thought it was the Paramount logo. And I was like, why? Like, I didn't see it like that close. Like, I didn't like zoom in, but I was like, that looks like the Paramount logo. And then just never thought about it again. I was like, why would it be that? But that's why.
That's so cool, though. What a cool
Yeah.
story.
thank you. Yeah. We didn't win anything, but we were nominated for best screenplay and best actress at the thing. I feel like if I had advertised Paramount more, maybe we would have won. So I should have done more than the name tag. I should have like had them walk by like all the Mission Impossible posters that were in the hotel.
On a film it's like 8 minutes long, right? You filmed it in 24 hours. What size crew do you have for that?
Very limited. We had a great DP named Sumit, and a first AC and a gaffer, Mustafa and Ashwin, and two sound guys, Cameron and Raul. One producer who helped me. I mean, I produced it with her, and not a big crew really. It was hard to do it in 24 hours actually, like because we filmed it chronologically. So the opening scene, we're like, yeah, we're good, but people started losing their energy by the time we got to the restaurant scene, understandably, because it went way over 12 hours. By the time everyone was ready to go home, I think we were like 20 hours into the shoot, maybe like 21. And then you have to give back the hard drive at the 24-hour mark. Otherwise, you're disqualified. So I was sitting in the hotel suite where we filmed, DITing the film, like transferring the footage. And it was like 22 hours, 23 hours, 24 hours. I was like, I actually fell asleep in the bathtub in the hotel. So while it was DITing, and then I woke up, I was like, oh, okay. And then I finished the footage and then literally gave them the hard drive at like the 23-hour mark. So we almost got disqualified. But it was hard because usually filming a movie, you do like 3-4 pages a day. This was 10 pages. And then we shrunk it down. We cut a little bit out of the movie. So it became like 8 minutes.
Wow.
What takes so long to make an 8-minute film? I'm curious. Like, what goes into that, I guess, for people watching? Like, what goes into, because you think like, I watched it in 8 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk to him. But like, it took you an entire day to film that thing.
Yeah, we rehearsed it a lot, so everyone knew their lines. We all memorized well. The part that took a long time was actually the ending scene in the elevator, because the elevator kept like not opening at the right time, and every time we needed to take, we needed to get it back up and reset, and also like the restaurant scene had some stunts. Like we really beat up Atif, the main guy or the main actor, with when he's choking. So we had to do that a little carefully. So that took time. And yeah, like that was mainly it. It's also just, every time you set up a new shot, everyone has to reset the lights and stuff. Just in general, like movies take longer than you would think. But yeah, it wasn't too hard. It just we were just tired at the end.
All your crew, is this people you knew ahead of time, or did you just find them specifically for doing this project?
I knew some of them, like, because there's not a lot of film people in Dubai, so these were all like people who work there locally. So I knew the main actress. I always wanted to work with her, Romina, and she did a great job. So like it was nice to have an excuse to do something together. But all these people worked for free, so like they really did me a big favor by doing the movie, and that's why like I was like, we got to make them proud, hopefully get into some festivals and stuff.
Yeah, I can understand that. Did you guys have to compete at the hotel for locations or anything like that, or work around other people filming there? Or was it just you guys happened to get free range and no competition at all?
We were free range. I told them, can we get like a big hotel room, like a suite, so it looks like an apartment? They were like, yeah, sure, here's one. And then I think the reason we did that first is because with the restaurant, I just wanted it to be closed. Like if I wanted to film in like a little area while it was open, we could have done that. But I said, let's just do that at night. Like do the suite in the daytime, restaurant in the nighttime. Oh, also because the restaurant needed to look like it was night, so we didn't want sunlight in. So we were free range. It was literally like a ghost town in the nighttime when we were filming. I didn't see anybody.
What was the like most difficult part about filming and the easiest part about this shoot?
The easiest was like the opening scene because it was me and Atif, and we rehearsed it so much, and we just knew all the dialogue. So like, actually, I'll tell you the hardest part was there was a tracking shot that it was when I'm basically kicking him out of the apartment, and we filmed the movie on Nikon cameras because that's what they gave us. But Nikon isn't really meant for movies; it's more for photography. So it was hard to like keep us in focus during the tracking shot. So we had good takes, like acting wise, camera movement wise, it was all good, but the focus was just messed up. And even in the movie, there's like a little part where it's out of focus. I'm like, but it's the best we could do.
But when you can blame Paramount for that, I guess it's not that bad, right?
Yeah,
It's Paramount.
You're mentioning your Nikon camera. So for people who don't know, he's talking about like a point and shoot picture taking camera is what he filmed this on. Have you shot using a video camera or what? Tell us like, I don't like, again, my brain is like going in 10 directions with this question, but that's, I've shot films before with cameras versus video cameras, and it is a different game. So were you backtracking and being like, this is what we have to use? Or were you like, I've only used this, so let's do it again?
Honestly, like the cinematographer would know more than me because I don't know anything about it. You put a camera in my hand, I don't even know how to like turn it on. Like I'm more of a writer, director. Like that's why I love like Judd Apatow. I think I mentioned him, like, and the influences because I'm more like writer, producer, director. But with Sumit, they were showing us how to use the cameras, and he was like, Nikon isn't really meant for movies. I don't know why they're sponsoring this event. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, usually we film movies on like a Sony or a Black Magic or something like, or Arri Alexa or Red. And I was like, huh, okay. And then when we were having problems while filming the tracking shot, he's like, this thing doesn't know how to focus. I feel bad because they gave us free cameras, so I don't want to badmouth them, but like
their cameras are wonderful for picture taking. They're amazing.
Yeah. And even for like normal, like just coverage, they're fine when it's on a tripod. But when you're doing a tracking shot, it's a little challenging.
Yeah. Like what we're doing now would be great because it's not too much. Yeah. Wow. I can't even imagine. That's interesting and cool. Still cool. That's like another like hurdle you can say you've accomplished in your life is I've made a whole film with a point and shoot.
How'd you get into filmmaking?
I always loved entertainment, like stand-up comedy. I was always into that as a kid. I always not doing it, just watching it, but also I just loved like sitcoms like Drake and Josh and iCarly and then loved like all the comedy movies of the 2000s, like Hangover, 21 Jump Street, Bridesmaids, Mean Girls, stuff like that. So I grew up loving that stuff, and then I thought about being an actor, and then my parents were like, acting is not a wise choice for a career. And I said, okay, I'll be a producer. So when I saw like all the like Tom and Jerry cartoons, and I noticed I would read the credits, and some of them would say directed by Chuck Jones, and it would have like a unique style, like 2D animation. And then the Hanna-Barbera ones had more 3D style animation. I thought, that's because of the director. They have like a unique style. So I started making movies with my friends and just kind of loved it. And then I realized, because I did some master classes, like the ones that all the celebrities do, like Judd Apatow has one and Scorsese has one, Ron Howard has one, that I felt like writing was the part where most movies go bad. Like most movies look good and professional and are, well produced, but like the writing is usually where movies are good or bad. So that's why I majored in screenwriting in film school.
That's a good idea.
That stuff you were just talking about with like making films with your friends and loving, what'd you say, iCarly, which is hilarious to me. Was that all when you were living in Dubai, or was that when you came here?
All in Dubai. I was born in the States, so I was here till I was like 7 years old. And that's when I liked like Nickelodeon and stuff because we had all the American channels. And then when I went to Dubai, there weren't any American channels. So every time we'd visit America, like in the summer to see my grandparents, I'd go and buy all the DVDs of iCarly and Drake and Josh, like in Best Buy, and then would just bring them back.
So you must be pretty young then.
I'm 25, so
Baby. You have the face to be an actor though, so kind of ignore your parent. I think you're doing great as a director and writer, but you're very cute, you're very adorable, you have a screen-worthy face, so if you just wanna, like, ignore your parents sometimes, you could do that also.
thank you, thank you. I honestly, I love directing actors. I like letting them do the thing. I think I'd be more like Adam McKay or Judd Apatow, those people who like they do a cameo in their movies, or they'll do like interviews for it. But I think like directing, producing, like that's already enough jobs. Like I don't need to, be in the movie that much, except for this one.
Over the last 25 years of your life, what else have you made? Because I know you've done other films as well besides this one.
Yeah, I've done a lot of shorts, but I'd say there's two other ones that I think are pretty good, and they're all in my Instagram. Zack Abdulbaki has my link tree, and in the link tree that has like all my shorts. So there's like two others. Like one of them's like a whodunit comedy, which is a little bit like Hangover, where there's like something like a mystery they have to solve, and then the other one is like a road trip comedy, kind of like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which, if people want to go watch them, they can. But those two were like longer, so it was harder to get them into festivals. But I'm gonna try to find like a YouTube channel where we can put like that has an audience that we can have distribute them, because my YouTube is like nothing. So that's where they live now.
Speaking of nothing at all, but showing films, isn't there a screening coming up for Helium?
Yeah, there's a few. I always put it in there's at helium_movie on Instagram. I always put in the bio like when's the next screening. There's one in Torrance, California on August 31st at Riptide Film Fest. And we'll have a few more after. I'll try to get like as many as possible within the next year.
Is that kind of how that works? Like once it's like, can you talk a little bit about I guess, the festival circuit, like how that works and how you set up screenings around the country like that?
Yeah, so basically, I just uploaded it to Film Freeway and then filled out all the like info about the movie, and then just started submitting to whoever I could, and like looking at some of my friends' movies, like where did they get in? And I was like, okay, if that movie got in there, we might have a chance. So, like, I looked at like which of my friends, like if they made a comedy, where did that comedy go, like get into? So, so that's kind of how I figured it out. But then it's just luck. Then it's like when you guys emailed, I was like, wow, we got into a festival, a real festival. That's awesome.
We're
Yeah,
a real festival.
I saw too that you submitted in one at another festival that's in Palm Bay, which is the town right next to our festival. So
Oh.
so what's bringing you to East Coast, or when you're submitting, you're not even looking at where they are, you're just looking at like, do they accept comedies and things along those lines?
Yeah, like if something says horror or like I don't know, something like documentary, obviously I'm not going to submit. But with you guys, I got to be honest, I don't remember why, but I think I just saw like you had like a best comedy category or something. I was like, okay, yeah, so I'll submit to this one. But yeah, no, Florida's a great state. I got some of my mom's family lives in Miami, which I think is far from you guys, but I love Florida.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll cut that part out, Jacqueline. We love Florida. We love Florida.
It's wonderful. It's so much fun here. What brought you back to moving back to the United States?
Film school for sure, because there's no film school in Dubai that's like that great. And yeah, I wanted to get like, I went to Chapman University, so I wanted to be close to LA, and that one is in Orange County. So, so yeah, pretty much just that.
What are you working on now?
Now I'm applying to jobs because I graduated, but doing interviews for like some paid internships. Hopefully I can get one or two of those in the fall. Also, I'm gonna produce a short for my friend that she wrote. I'm not gonna direct it, just producing it, helping her out with it. And then I have a feature script that I want to make. If I can get the funding for it, would be cool. A horror comedy. I feel like if you want to make a comedy that's going to make money and do well in theaters, you have to put some horror with it. So that's kind of my plan. And yeah, I think I'll probably direct another short soon. I think once this one is done with all the festivals and stuff, I'll look at what's the next step.
How long is that like cycle for something? Is it like a year? Is it, or like how long do you kind of stay in that cycle for a film?
I mean, really, with a movie, you can just keep submitting it. Like, I mean, honestly, it's just a matter of money. Like, it's, I submitted to all the ones I could afford to send to at once, but then, later I can just, as long as they don't have a rule that it's like it needs to be less than a year old, you can just keep submitting forever, pretty much. But it's like you just have to pick and choose which ones do you think you're going to get into and which ones are worth it to send to. Like if something has like a $40 submission fee and it's like Sundance, I'm like, comedy's probably not going to get in there. But I appreciate you guys, because your submission fee is like, I don't even remember, but it wasn't a lot. So
Yeah, we do try to keep it low to encourage people to submit.
We're accessible.
Yeah, we want to be accessible to. You can't encourage somebody if they can't even like put their eyes on you. So we do try to encourage people as much as possible, celebrate artists as much as possible without breaking the bank, because most of you guys are young, new filmmakers, and making a film typically costs all your money and then you have no budget to submit anywhere. So we're not going to rob people. We're trying to, keep it fair and friendly. That's our goal.
Celebrate. Yes. Yeah. I always like to ask where you were when you found out you were nominated or you won the Wolf Media Award.
I think I was driving and then I just saw like an email headline, and I was like, huh, something good happened? Oh my God. And then I think I was driving to a class. I took a summer class for cinematography this past, it's just finishing now. But yeah, when I got to the class, I was like, look at this. And then I was like, we got to post about this. We got to show off a little bit, our little movie that costs nothing, like actually wants something.
Like, excuse me, I'm in charge of this class now. I'm an award winner. So move.
Yeah, I'll teach. I'll take over teaching. But I think that's so cool and very inspirational that you can take an old script of yours, have no money, no budget, find opportunities and create a fun, silly, relatable film that people can watch. I'm sure you had to put some money into it, but ultimately it was, a free film for you to make. And I think that's really inspirational to younger people trying to thinking like, I really want to make this film, but I can't because of restraints. Well, remove those restraints, then look for opportunity. Like you said, you rewrote your script to fit the opportunity. And I think that's like some good advice, actually. Good advice and inspirational, in my opinion.
Thank you. Yeah, it was, I think also with rewriting, we tried to like make it a little funnier. And even on set, like we did improv. We did like there's the hostess who like starts beating Atif with a shoe to get him to stop choking. And that was just improv. We were like, do you have any ideas like to make it like something you could do? And the actress was like, oh, I could hit him with my shoe. And we were like, that's great. And then he was
like, do I have any say in this? Or
Yeah,
are we all
exactly.
just allowed to beat the crap out of me? Perfect. Can you tell everybody where they can see the film? Because it is out there.
Well, the thing is, it's like some of these festivals don't want you to have it on YouTube because they're still evaluating it. But if anyone DMs me, I will happily send them a private link. So my Instagram is at Zack with the CK _ Abdulbaki. Abdul like Paul Abdul, and then BAKI. You just search me or search at Helium _ movie and then just DM that account and I'll happily send someone the movie if they want to check it out.
I'll put all that information in the show notes too, so people can just click the link and go directly to you. So super fun, super
Clink
exciting.
The link, everyone. Clink the link. Zach,
Yeah.
thanks so much for coming on and chatting with us, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And yeah, hopefully my next movie I can submit it and we'll chat again.
Yeah. I'm so happy we got to finally meet because we've emailed a couple times. Thank you again so much for being here today, this morning. It's still kind of morning where you're at right now. This was just so much fun. Thanks for sharing your work with us.
Yeah, and hopefully I can come to the next Wolf Media Fest in person in Florida. That would be
our next in-person event is going to be next April. So
next April. Okay. Yeah. No, if I can make it out there, that would be. I would love to come.
I'll bring your family.
Keep you updated.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Wolf Media Festival Podcast with Kyle Hollingsworth, Richard Wilmore, and Jacqueline Wolfhart. Produced and edited by me. I'm Jacqueline Wolfhart. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to find ways you can connect with our guests. Thanks for checking us out today and tuning in every week wherever you get your podcasts.